like ice cream with loads of berries on top. Guys, I think you can kind of understand what loads of means, right? So when you see the picture here, yummy, it's a delicious ice cream or whatever, it looks like an ice cream, and loads of berries on top, right? So a lot of them. And today we are going to talk about quantifiers, okay? Most of them you already know. So I will review some of them and present you some new ones, okay? So besides only getting their meanings, try to use them, okay? This is very important for um, this practice of the language, okay? On page 32, you have exercise number 1, and as you already know, this exercise is just a copy from the previous text. Okay, so please do it before you see the next part of this presentation. So here we go, quantifiers. I'm going to give you some examples and explain some of them, okay? None of the students have been to Australia. We should plan a school trip with them. Guys, none of the students, zero, no one, right? It's a pity that hardly any of my relatives enjoy dancing. So what do you mean here by saying hardly any? Is that it's just a few, just, you can imagine in a group of 50 people, like two, something, almost no one. A few moments later, you could have stayed a little more. The small gathering turned out to be great. So these two expressions refer to small amounts of something. In the first one, moments, and in the second one, time. Not many subscribers participated in the poll, and it's not much, but please take it. So again, talking about small quantity, it's very close to the previous examples. And in the first one, talking about the quantity of people, and in the second one, probably talking about money, right? So it's not much, not a huge quantity. A small number of people that are used to represent a much larger population is called sample. A small number of something. So you can also use the simple expression. She has several books published and now she's been producing comics. This one I'd like to highlight because several, when you search for its meaning, you will probably find something like a few, right? So they refer to something like a small amount. But sometimes it has the same meaning as some or something similar to some, okay? So in the second example, I texted you some weeks ago and I haven't gotten a response. In this case, you can imagine like a couple weeks, 2 weeks, or 3, it's not much, but also it depends on the opinion of who is saying that, So if, for example, for you, 5 weeks is not so much, so maybe it's some weeks could be 5, So it depends on who is saying it. Loads of citizens claimed their rights to the insurance at the governor's door. Loads of, very useful for you because we tend to use lots of or a lot of, and they mean the same thing. Okay, so loads of citizens, it's the same thing as lots of, but you can vary a little bit instead of repeating lots all the time. I'm talking about a lot of money. LOL means laughing out loud or lots of laughs. I gotta go. I've got plenty to do. So in these three situations, we are talking about a great quantity of something, right? So it depends again on the opinion, but it's something big. I'm talking about a lot of money, so maybe for one it could be like 100 reais. It could be a lot of money, and for the second one, it could be like $10,000, a lot of money. So it depends. So much butter for this recipe. Many cars on the streets. Thanks a bunch. Much and many, you already know, they're a pair, right? For uncountable and countable nouns. And in the first one, you can feel like it was a complaint about the quantity, so it's so much butter. And I'd like to highlight here the third example, thanks a bunch, because also we tend to use thanks a lot or thank you so much, but you can change and try to say thanks a bunch sometimes. We will need a good deal of luck. A good deal of something, it's something that you think it's enough for a specific situation. Most of my friends are going. This one is very, very important because it's common and it sounds quite natural. So instead of saying the majority of my friends, you say most of my friends. It's practical and also more natural and common. I spend almost all my time playing games. So in this case, it's not all, but it's almost all. So you were almost there. You were getting there. So I told you about the word majority. Okay, so when you say the vast majority of something, so the vast majority of this material is useless. You are referring to something like you are overreacting about something, about the quantity. Okay, so the vast majority. So it's a lot. So you can also vary, saying like I'm doing here now. So when you say like a lot of money, it's one meaning. When you use like it's a lot of money, so you change the meaning. You kind of overreact, you exaggerate. So you can change also using these strategies. The last but not the least, I think they're all offline. In this case, all 100%, all of them. For these quantifiers, I will try to split them in 6 different groups, okay? The first one will include only none. The second one, hardly any, a few, a little, not many, not much, a small number. The third one, several and some. The fourth one, loads of, a lot of, lots of, plenty, much, many, bunch. The next group, a good deal of something, most of, almost all, the vast majority of, and the last one, all. Okay, so I will try to represent these expressions with drawings, okay? I'm not a very good drawer, but I think we can handle it. So for not, I will use the symbol of empty. For this group here, let's draw 2 dots, okay? And for the sum, let's make something like that. It varies from 2 to a little bit more, okay? Loads of, I think we can draw many, many dots, okay? Most of, in this case, I think we can draw many dots. And let's include some of them in a group, but most of them. So only a few of them are gonna be out. Okay, so like these, okay? And the last one, 100%. So let's see. I will draw many dots. And include all of them in the group. Like that. Okay, guys. On page 32, you have exercise number 2, okay? It's an exercise in which you have to select one of the 2 options they will present, and later I will post the answers for you to check. That's it. Guys, before I say the end, I'd like to ask you to please, if you have any questions, just go there to Magnum Sol and create a topic in the forum, okay, to ask a question, and I will answer, okay? It will be a pleasure for me to do it. So that's the end. See you next time.